What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about Canadian Heritage Minutes, which are these 1 minute long videos that teach you about really important moments and people throughout all of Canadian history. And today, I am continuing my journey trying to watch all of the 100 Canadian Heritage Minutes. I've currently watched 30 and have 70 left to go, which is fantastic. Plenty more Canadian history, information, and people to learn about, which is amazing. So today, we are going to start off with Marshall McLuhan. Marshall McLuhan. Never heard of him in my entire life. He is the world-renowned communications theorist? Communications theorist? That's not a title or job description you hear too often, is it? He fascinates students with his insights about mass media? He had insights about mass media back in 1961. That's so fascinating. I'd love to hear what he thought about mass media. He had no idea where we were going and what was going to happen. I want to know if any of his insights turned out to be true. What, like 63 years later now? That's fascinating that he was thinking about this. Do we have any more info on, Marshall McLuhan? Marshall McLuhan? Either way, communication theorist born in 1911. Professor of English at the University of Toronto. McLuhan became internationally famous in the 1960s for his studies of the effects of mass media on thought and behavior. The effects of mass media on thought and behavior, that's so crazy. He was already thinking about that stuff. He would have no idea like how much media would change and no idea how much it would grow. It's not just about like newspapers. It went to television news, of course, radio, and then even further to like social media. A lot of people just get their news from social media now, different websites and stuff. Wow. Oh, this is going to be very, very interesting, I think. Let's take a look at the actual video. This is Marshall McLuhan, Heritage Minute.
TV sucks the brain right out of the skull.
Oh my God. Sounds like our parents growing up, right? You're just trying to watch some TV. They're like, it sucks the soul out of you. And you're like, please, just let me watch my cartoon, please. But he didn't say that YouTube sucks the soul out of your skull. YouTube's fine. He only said TV. Oh my God.
TV sucks the brain right out of the skull.
The brain.
So next seminar we'll probe the content of television.
Professor
Okay.
McLuhan,
Well, of course, the
should
content of television is movies, but the message of television is what it does to us, the users.
Are you saying that the medium is more important than the message it carries?
No. The medium is not more important than the message.
What the heck? This is this is interesting. They're like diving you right into like a lecture. Is this Marshall McLuhan right here? He had, I mean, just based on this Heritage Minute, he has a very negative opinion of mass media and television. Maybe rightfully so. He, again, like, if only he knew, like, that the internet was going to be a thing and what that would do to people, being the amazing things that the internet and social media would do to connect people across the world, but also probably some like not so good things. I don't know if humans were made to absorb so much stimulus from to have so many opinions coming at you all the time, every day about everything. I don't know. I think Marshall McLuhan would have some interesting thoughts about that if only he knew.
It's obvious. The medium is the message.
Oh.
The
What?
medium is the message.
What? What? The medium is the message. What does that mean? That's very deep. Maybe too deep for me to even deconstruct. I'd ask for my money back if I went to this school. I'd be like, Professor McLuhan, I don't know what he's getting on about. I'm going to go watch TV. Says my brain's going to come out. I'm sure by now they have studies about this. Even growing up when video games became more popular and more sophisticated, everyone was like, oh, that's going to ruin people's brains. Like playing games where you're shooting people and doing violent acts. And I don't think that was as true as people thought. You know, I turned out okay, you know, right? Right?
What does that mean?
Well, of course, the medium is the message. It's what I...
He's full of great ideas.
Like print changed the shape of the world,
People
remember?
don't read newspapers, they get into them like a warm bath.
This Canadian changed the way the world thinks about communications.
Is the message, then the content must be the audience. And of course, electronic information is turning the world into a global village. Take light bulbs, they're an information medium.
What? Light bulbs? What? Oh, this is fascinating. Wow. And they are talking about like newspaper back in the 1960s by the sound of it. That's really interesting. It's interesting how some ideas are kind of like timeless. The medium is the message. I suppose in a way, certainly. Like whether you're reading it on like a social media website in the form of text or a video or whatever. Sure. Interesting. I could think about that all day. But we have more Heritage Minutes to go on to, I'm afraid. Next with Paris Crew. Paris Crew. That's not the name of a person, I think. It's 4 unheralded oarsmen. That sounds like a band. That should be a band name. The Unheralded Oarsmen. They're putting out a new album. Can't wait. From St. John, New Brunswick, they electrify Canadians with their victory in the World Rowing Championship in Paris. These are rowers from New Brunswick. They electrify Canadians. This was in 1867. And also 4 rowers from Canada, New Brunswick, won the World Rowing Championship in Paris. Awesome. Okay. That's definitely, I see, that's got to be a very monumental moment in Canadian history. The Paris Crew rowing team from St. John, New Brunswick, that achieved global acclaim after Confederation by placing first at the International Regatta during the Paris Exposition 1867. Very cool. Anything else interesting here? The team won multiple other titles until experiencing their first loss. Oh my god, it was news that they lost. That means they were pretty freaking good. Okay, Paris Crew. I wonder what they're going to show here. Like, actually the race, maybe? In Paris? Oh, yeah. 1867, Paris.
Canada was just a few days old when 4 young men from St. John, New Brunswick dared to challenge the French and British world champions.
Oh, that's cool. What the narrator is pointing out is Canada was literally only a few days old, and these are, they're representing Canada at this point in a race, like on a global stage. That gives so much more background. Wow. Huh.
Canada was just a few days old when 4 young men from St. John, New Brunswick dared to challenge the French and British world champions at their own sport.
These freaking costumes, are these period accurate costumes? Like, I don't want to. It's just that whenever you see a French person, they're wearing, like, these guys have the beret and striped shirt, like, while rowing. It's like, that's not a stereotypical French costume. That's like what they wore, I guess. Silly me. Oh, what a mustache as well.
Brunswick dared to challenge the French and British world champions at their own sport.
Wow. Come on! Go! Wow. That's amazing. I'm thinking about this more. Apparently, rowing is considered like a French and English sport, more so. Like, certainly, I would say, from my limited knowledge, rowing, like, Canada is not known for rowing, I don't think. So for them to just, like, show up and, like, kick everyone's butt, that's pretty awesome.
In their absurd pink caps and brown suspenders.
Oh, these are the Canadians! with the mustaches, with the suspenders. Oh man, that is awesome.
Few gave them a chance against Oxford or the legendary Parisians.
Yeah. Get that boat out of the way. Come on! Row!
Their hometown had bet $100,000. And
What? Oh, wait, what? I love these little details. Their hometown was at St. John, New Brunswick, somewhere in New Brunswick. They put a bet on this? $100,000? In like the 1800s? Isn't that like millions of dollars? Like back then? Man, they knew something. They knew something about this rowing team. These strapping young lads were gonna put the beat down, and they were right.
would not be disappointed.
Yes!
Ross, Hutton, Fulton, and Price, unbeaten for the rest of their
Wow.
rowing career, they'd be known worldwide as the Paris Crew.
Oh, so they became known as the Paris Crew after this, and they were undefeated. What the heck? Just keep doubling down. $100,000 on every race. You'd be rich. That's so funny that their hometown put a bet on them. And they were right. That's awesome, actually. The Paris Crew. That's a great story. What? All right, let's keep going here. One more Heritage Minute for today is Nursing Sisters. Okay, what does this mean? Nursing Sisters serve at the No. 3 Canadian Stationary Hospital in France during the First World War. This is also in France. What a coincidence. This during World War I. Nursing sisters? They look kind of like nurses at No. 3 Canadian Stationary Hospital. I'm not sure what that means. Women have cared for wounded soldiers throughout Canada's wartime. Nursing sisters carried out official duties with the military during the Northwest Resistance, the South African War, First and Second World Wars, and Korean War. At least 70 nursing sisters died from enemy action and disease. These are sisters. These are like nuns, like the religious sister. So, who are serving as nurses. I see. They are not just nurses. Okay, there's a specificity to this. Some of them died, like literally, like trying to help people in war. That's amazing. Not in a good way. Amazing act of selflessness. Not that it is amazing. Anyway, before I dig myself a deeper hole here, let's take a look at the nursing sisters. No. 3 Canadian Stationary Hospital in France. Is that just the name of the hospital, No. 3, I think?
Dear Mother, I am no stranger to suffering, but nothing could have prepared me for this.
Wow.
The boys come to us mangled and blinded, and so often there is little we can do.
Oh my God. You know, it's traumatic, like, of course, to go to war, to come home from war, to be hurt from war. And it's traumatic in a different way to be the ones trying to help those people and oftentimes failing. So it's hard to overemphasize, like, what an important position these nursing sisters are in to help. A really selfless position.
If this war doesn't end soon, there won't be a man living on the face of the earth.
Oh. Oh my God.
Air raid.
But
Wow. I didn't know it was going to take this kind of turn. This is literally showing, like, the violence and danger of just being one of the nursing sisters, just being like a medic trying to help, being bombed. Not a side of history you get to see that often. So I'm glad this is actually being highlighted.
But don't worry, we nurses continue.
Wow.
I continue. I'm glad I came, but I think very often how good it will be when it's all over.
Wow.
And I'm returning to all I love most.
Wow. Wow, this is an intense one. This is really well made as well. This is one of the more modern Heritage Minutes, I think, where they shot it like almost like a movie. This is intense.
Eleanor Thompson was awarded the Military Medal for her bravery that night.
Eden Pringle was killed in action. They were two of the nearly 3,000 Canadian nursing sisters during the First World War.
Wow, I had no idea about that. That's great. That's what I love about these Heritage Minutes, is they really shine a light on what I would call some of the more obscure aspects of Canadian history. Like, I would never, ever learn about the nursing sisters. I'd never know of their existence. Or the other Heritage Minutes that I've watched, most of them. I'd never know about them, for sure, if not for the existence of this collection of videos, the Heritage Minutes. So I think that's just amazing. Some of these stories are like so freaking dramatic. Like it gets to you. It's amazing though. Like amazing way to highlight Canadian history. I enjoyed these quite a bit to get today. Good selection of Heritage Minutes about different people and events and wars and races, and your brain coming out watching TV. I hope you've all survived up to this point watching YouTube. Your brain hasn't popped out yet. If so, I hope you enjoyed this as well. If you did, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on these Heritage Minutes. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, stuff about Canada I've never learned before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.